Okay, so here's a question for you. Would you rather have one 1 ounce gold coin or 4 1/4 ounce coins? It's a popular topic, so let's take a look. This is a question that comes up all the time. What makes more sense, the lower premium 1 ounce coins or the lighter weight fractional coins? Now, in a long enough timeline, we want both. But if we look at this as a choose your own adventure story, we can look at a few different scenarios. So first, you want to preserve long-term wealth. Second, maybe you're planning for emergencies or adventures, whatever you want to call them. And third, you want to profit from gold prices going to the moon. And if it's that last one, just turn right to the last page of the book, because we all know the hill giant's just going to club us on the head and we die. It's just not a situation you should be planning for. At least not with gold, and, and certainly not with silver. And I hope at least like 2 or 3 of you get the reference to the Choose Your Own Adventure books, because this whole thing's probably pretty weird if not. Those first 2 scenarios, though, are legitimate uses for gold. So 1, you want to preserve your long-term wealth. And in a case like that, you're looking for lower premium on your coins. You still want to maintain the most value possible. So a 1 ounce gold coin is going to have a much lower premium than a 1/4 ounce gold coin, for instance, everything else being the same. These 1/4 ounce gold eagles are going to give you more flexibility, though, in the case where you need to sell them. So unexpected situations being what they are, you don't know how much cash you might need, and you don't know how fast you might need it. A lot of people will mention the advantage of being able to sell a partial ounce, so smaller amounts of your stack. Maybe you don't need a full $2,000, maybe you're looking at $500. And I agree with that, but one of the situations that I don't know that everybody thinks of is, what happens if you run into a case where your local coin shop either isn't open or isn't buying gold? You simply have a much bigger buying pool for a smaller coin like a 1/4 ounce than you do for a full 1 ounce coin. And that same situation is a big reason why I always recommend buying recognizable gold coins like the American Gold Eagle. So if we consider that moonshot scenario again just for a minute, and if gold were to go to $25,000 or whatever nonsense people are saying these days, who's going to buy it? I say this all the time, and maybe this is me kicking a dead horse again, but you need to consider how you're going to sell your gold, because plans can change, and you have to remember that gold is just like anything else. It's only worth what people are willing to pay for it. So on that question of whether you want full 1 ounce coins or smaller fractional coins, eventually it's smart to have both. And if I was starting out today, I wouldn't have a 1 ounce gold coin unless I already had some fractional coins. For a while, my typical plan was I would buy 1/4 ounce gold coins and I would change them up to a 1 ounce. So what that means is I'd buy quarters, and when I got 3 in hand, rather than buy that 4th, I would grab the 3, I'd head into the local coin shop with some cash, and rather than buy that 4th, I would switch it to a 1 ounce gold coin. But now I've kind of changed gears on that, and even though I have a few more gold coins than I did then, I wouldn't go that route. I make sure that I always have at least 4 1/4 ounce gold coins, and actually I've kind of switched to 8, but I would have 4, and that same idea of going 1, 2, 3, and then up to a full ounce with those quarters, I would do that after I had 4 in the deep stack, so I would never trade off those 4. And the flaw in that whole idea of buying quarters and migrating them to full 1 ounce coins is that there's a higher premium on a 1/4 ounce coin. So it doesn't make sense to lose that premium if the goal is just to get 1 ounce coins. There are definitely advantages to doing it that way, though, especially if you don't have a lot of gold yet and if you're building it up. Again, I really think that you need to have fractional, whether they're 10th ounce or 1/4 ounce. I like quarters myself. But regardless of your preference, fractional denominations let you build up a static asset class without putting it into an all or nothing decision. And like I mentioned before, there's a very small part of my gold buying strategy that revolves a bit around emergency planning. And in emergency planning, you want to make sure that you have the right tools. Like this Chris Reeve Sebenza, right? I mean, this is the coolest knife of all time, and it's a fantastic tool, but it's probably not so great to pull this out in the post office to open a letter or something. This little Spyderco bug, now you can carry this anywhere, and it's not going to really draw the wrong kind of attention. You'll still be able to open the letter just the same. So they're basically the same tool, they just have different pros and cons. So let's just say you're going through a case of FOMO, and you feel like you need some channel stickers. This tiny little knife is going to open these up all the same, and then nobody's going to walk away from the whole thing thinking, man, this guy walks around with a giant knife in his pocket. Now this is typically the point where I notice I made a typo or something, but they look good. And I'm planning to get a few of these out to some channel content creators that I've been watching. I wanted to get a note out anyway, so now I can drop one of these in. And I don't know what everybody does with them. I assume, I assume you put them on your back windows of your love buses. But regardless of where you stick them, just know that they come with a huge amount of appreciation for the stuff you're doing. So thank you. All right, so back to the gold. Now, it wouldn't seem right if we didn't talk about price. With everything going on right now in 2020, the price of gold is really on a move, and it has just gotten hard to buy 1 ounce coins. And now I personally am continuing to buy, but I'm just buying a little bit less of it. So these 1/4 ounce coins, they're a lot easier to buy than a 1 ounce coin. So that, of course, is another easy benefit to buying the fractional coins. And if you look at that from the outside perspective, if you did have to sell them, it's a lot easier for other people to buy them from you. You're increasing the population of available buyers, right? So to recap all this, fractional coins are just more flexible. Now you hear people say, think strategically, act tactically. Well, having smaller denominations is acting tactically. They're easier to buy, they're easier to sell, and they draw less attention. So why would you even have 1 ounce coins, right? Well, that one's easy too. First, 1 ounce coins have a lower premium in terms of overall percentage of cost. So you're paying less for your gold. And then second, because they're somewhat harder to sell, and that's, emotional or otherwise, they're easier to save because you're not as likely to sell your 1 ounce gold coin to get that new bicycle. Again, I think it's really important to have both. Now, I have some specific ideas of how much gold a person should have. But because it's such an objective thing, I'm not going to get into it real deep in this video. I do think I'll probably come back and touch on it. There are reasons I think you should have 3 ounces of gold. There are reasons I think you should have 12 ounces of gold. And then there are reasons that I think you would go beyond that, that gets into hedge against inflation, part of your retirement portfolio, and a lot of other things. But if we looked at that situation where you had 3 ounces of gold, I would recommend you'd have 2 single ounce coins and 4 1/4 ounce coins. Now again, that's really objective, but I think that amount gets you out of a quick short-term issue, and it's a good balance between really easy to sell coins and then kind of the larger value of the 1 ounce. And at 12 ounces of gold, I'd say you'd have 9 1 ounce gold coins and 12 1/4 ounce coins. And I know I already mentioned this, but to be super clear on that question of whether I'd rather have 1 1 ounce gold coin or 4 1/4 ounce gold coins, I'd definitely take the 4 1/4 ounce coins. And none of this is a blueprint for anything that I think others should do, especially without me kind of explaining why it is that I think those numbers make sense. But why even make this video if I'm not going to tell you what I do? So beyond that 12-ounce level, I'm back to 1-ounce gold coins because I'm not going to have to sell that in a fire sale. At least I hope not. That 3-ounce plan, though, actually, I consider that a plan for everywhere that you spend time, if that makes sense. So if you split your time between 2 locations or 3 locations, like I happen to do, I like the idea of having that 3 ounces available in each of those locations. So that's the 2 1-ounce coins and 4 1/4-ounce coins. Now you don't have to take that as advice, it's just something I do. But regardless of your situation, I think it's really smart to compartmentalize your plan for precious metals and really all assets. And that's the reason I say you should have both the fractional and the larger. They are the same tool with slightly different purposes. So I think that's a good overview of fractional versus 1-ounce coins. And if your only takeaway from this video is that you really have to get a hold of one of these fantastic channel stickers, well, let me know in the comments because I have a lot of them. And if the demand is as underwhelming as I assume it will be, I'll start sending them out. All right. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And let me know in the comments what you're up to. Take care.